Hey guys, I just wanted to come on and do a follow-up video on the lupus and vaccines video that I did about what was it, like 2 weeks ago now. So I just wanted to come on and update you on what has happened since then. So I continued to do more research into the whole lupus and COVID vaccines and stuff like that. And I started to get a little more comfortable with it. In regards to the whole thing about my medication interfering with the effectiveness of it, that is still an ongoing concern, unfortunately. It's just looking like it is not really that effective for people who are taking this medication. It has been shown, though, I believe the one girl that I was following who has lupus and was part of the study on the antibody production, like I said, after her 4 weeks after her first dose, she had 0 antibodies against COVID, which is like, that means the first shot was like nil. When she had her at 4 weeks after her second vaccine, she only had like, what was it? Was it like 0.7 antibodies, or like a maximum of, or maybe it was 7 antibodies or something, which is a very, very low number, which means like really nothing from it, because I think like they're not really sure exactly what number of antibodies you need to be considered like to have like the best protection, but I believe, my understanding is it's like in the hundreds. And so having only 7 is like nothing. So then they apparently, as part of the study, they retested antibodies 3 months after having the second dose. So they tested 4 weeks after, and she only had 7, and 3 months out she had 200. So that's something. So what it seems to be saying is that the antibody production is slower in people on immune suppressants, but it does seem to be giving some protection. It's still not the full protection. And so because of that, there is talks. They're still trying to figure out if this is going to be needed or not. Like, it hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it sounds most likely like a 3rd dose will be needed for immune suppressed people. I don't know when, or like it has to be discussed. It has to be studied to see if it's needed. But if it is, I think they said it might happen in the fall. So I don't know, but it at least is showing from the second dose, but it takes months. Like, it's taking months for the protection to kick in, but it's at least showing something, but it's still not the full protection. So they'll essentially need to probably do a 3rd shot for those people. Either that, or like I said, I had read that they're currently looking into a different option for immune suppressed people. And my understanding is they're looking into using, what was it? I think using like plasma from people that have the antibodies or something like that. They're wondering if this might be a better way to get protection for people immune compromised. I don't really know how that'll work or whatever, but it's in studies, it's in the works that they're going to try to look into other ways to protect people who are immune suppressed. So anyways, all that to say, I did more research. I talked to more people in my support group online. I came to find that the majority of lupus patients had no adverse reactions to the vaccine. The risks of flaring seems to be very low, whereas the risk of flaring if you catch COVID is very high. So then I also talked to my doctor. I finally got a hold of my rheumatologist. I didn't get a hold of my rheumatologist. A nurse from the lupus clinic got back to me. Unfortunately, not my doctor, but a nurse. She pulled up my files. She looked to see that everything was stable. And I just basically wanted clarification on if I was to get the vaccine, what to do with my medication, my immune suppressant medication. Because again, like I said in my previous video, I had heard mixed things, that some lupus patients were told not to stop it. Some were told to stop it for a week after. Some were told to stop it a week before and a week after. So it was all over the place. Before I got the call back from the nurse, I had actually read some more recent studies on the whole situation with my Fortic and the COVID vaccine. I think this research study came out just a few weeks ago. And I found that apparently they had finally come to a consensus on the medication. And it seemed that as long as your disease was like stable and things were good and well managed, that they recommend stopping it for a week after getting your vaccine. So that was what my doctor had told me back in January, but I just wanted to make sure that that hadn't changed, just because, like I said, I had seen a mixture of things that doctors were telling their patients, because obviously the whole stopping of the immune suppressant is in the hopes that you'll produce some antibodies to the vaccine. Because if you're taking this medication that's suppressing your immune system is not going to kick in and produce antibodies. So that's the whole concept with it. So anyway, so I had read that in the study, and then the nurse confirmed it for me. She said, yeah, everything's stable with you. So she's like, just don't take the medication the day that you get the vaccine, and then, like for the week thereafter. So like for a total of 7 days, I'm not taking the medication. So I was like, okay. Then I wanted to hear again from like a doctor, physically from like another doctor's mouth. I asked about the risk of flaring, and she assured me the risk was low. She said, we have yet to see any lupus patients in our clinics that have flared after getting the vaccine. So that really put my mind at ease. So I decided to book my appointment, and I got the vaccine yesterday, which was July 21st. So I take my Fortic in the morning and at night. So I didn't take it that morning, and I won't take it now until next Wednesday. And so far I've been fine. My arm was really sore last night, but it's already starting to feel better today. Like, it's still a little bit sore, but I can move it better than I could last night. Like last night it was really kind of like stiff and sore, but now I'm able to move it. So it's already getting better. And I had a headache last night, but I've been getting headaches with my jaw pain. So I don't know if the headache was from the vaccine or not, because headaches are basically like a daily thing with me now because of my jaw. So it could have just been that. But I mean, I didn't sleep well because I usually like to sleep on my left side and I couldn't because my arm hurt. So I had a little bit of a hard time sleeping because I wasn't able to sleep in my usual position. But other than that, I've been fine. Alex got his second dose yesterday, right before I got my first dose. And his arm is really sore, but he wasn't having any side effects, although he went to work today and he did call me in the afternoon to check on me to see how I'm doing. And he was telling me that he was starting to get chills and he had a really bad headache and he was feeling really tired. So maybe he's starting to get some side effects from the second vaccine. I know that most people that are getting side effects are getting it from the second one. I know my mom was like really bad for 24 hours with like a high fever, chills, body aches, feeling really tired. She just slept a lot for that 24 hours and then she was okay. So I'm not looking forward to the second dose if I have any reaction. I hope I won't, but so far so good. Fingers crossed. I just decided to go for it because like I said, I had read that if I catch COVID when I have lupus, plus I also have lung problems on top of my lupus, so the two combined, it's not good. So if I caught lupus, I'm not lupus, if I caught COVID, there goes that lupus fog. Yeah, if I caught COVID, I would have a worse chance of having a bad flare-up that could actually like affect organs and stuff. And then of course there's the complications from COVID itself. And then of course me having like lung problems, it's not good. So even though I know like I'm not going to be fully protected, I guess it's the whole thing of like, at least it's something. I'm still going to have to be really careful because I'm not getting the full benefit or protection. So I'm still going to have to be careful, but I guess it's at least something, and the benefits outweigh the risk, I guess. And sorry, that's just my timer telling me to get stuff out of the dryer. So yeah, I just decided to do it because I figured while I'm still not back to work, like I need to find a new nanny job. But anyways, while I'm not working, I figure now would actually probably be the best time to do the vaccination, because if for some reason I flared or whatever, at least like I don't have to worry about it affecting my job. So I figure I might as well just get it out of the way now and just hope for the best. But if for some reason I flare, at least I'm not working, so I can like recover at home and do all I need to do to try and get the flare under control. So I figured that was probably the best thing. And then on top of that, like I said in my last video, there's, you know, the nanny jobs are, most of the job postings I'm finding, they're wanting a nanny who's vaccinated, and I totally understand that. Like, they want to protect their family. And I know someone in the comments had said, well, you know, maybe like you'll need to look into a different career in that, but I love working with children, and I don't want to give that up. And I mean, I am working towards becoming the sleep consultant thing, but my understanding is it takes a few years to build up that business to like have like a substantial income. So I'm still going to need to have like a part-time nanny job to supplement with that business. So yeah, and I don't want to give up working with kids. Like, I love it too much. So and I can't manage a desk job. I've tried it before, and it's too much sitting for me. Like, I need to have a good balance of activity and rest, and nannying actually like gives me that, because I have moments where I can sit and do like a quiet activity with the kid, or sitting at the lunch table with them, or having snack with them. And then I have other moments in the day where we're out walking and out at the park, and so it's a really good balance for me, and it kind of keeps things good with my joints, because sitting at a desk, my knee kept getting swelled up. So that doesn't work for me. And I can't do something where I'm standing all day either. I need to have that balance. And so that's where like nannying is perfect for me, because it's that perfect balance of like rest and activity, as well as it like being around kids just like elevates my mood, and I just feel better, and so all that good stuff. And then the other thing, of course, was so like I said, it just seemed like I needed to have it for a job. But also I went to visit my grandma at her new place. I can't remember if I told you guys, but she got moved to long-term care just in the nick of time, because her old building, like, what was it, 2 weeks, a week or two after she moved to long-term care, we found out that her building was closing, and all the senior residents in that building had to find a new place to live. The facility was closing, and they went from renting out 2 floors to the local hospital to renting out the entire building to the local hospital, and all these residents were now scrambling to find like a new place to live. So that would have been a nightmare. So she got in long-term care in the nick of time. So anyways, I went to visit her on Monday, and I had to do a rapid COVID test when I got there, which thankfully is not the one that like goes up into your brain. They literally just swab like the opening of the nostrils, and then you wait 15 minutes, and then you get the results. And so of course, like, I was negative. And even though I was negative, I still had to wear, because I'm not vaccinated, I had to wear a mask and a face shield. And it was really hot that day, really hot. And my grandma's AC wasn't working at full capacity, so it wasn't that cool in her room. And I was like sweating profusely the entire 2 hours I was there. On top of that, the face shield was fogging up, so I couldn't see properly. And then my grandma, her hearing is going, and so she could barely hear what I was saying. I had to basically yell for her to hear me, and a lot of times I had to repeat myself. She kept saying, what? And I had to keep repeating myself, because with all the stuff on my face, like, it makes it harder for her to hear me. So that was frustrating. And so I was like, oh my God. So apparently, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear the face shield. You still have to wear the mask for some reason, but you don't have to wear the face shield. So at least it's like one less layer. And hope, like, but even my mom said, like, even wearing just the mask, my grandma still has a hard time understanding. But it's better than having like the full thing on. So, so I was like, I want to be able to like visit that way. Plus also, I guess, like, I think they're thinking that when we go into phase 4, you might not have to wear the mask at all. So I was just kind of like, I just want to get vaccinated so I can do these things. And of course, right now you also need it for travel. And we want to be able to like go visit my sister soon, who lives in New Brunswick. I mean, I don't know when we'll get to do it, but I have a flight credit that I have to use because when Taylor Swift canceled the Loverfest tour because of COVID, I had already bought my flight to go there, and so they wouldn't refund it, but they gave me a credit. And I have until, I think, June of 2022 to use it up. So we were thinking of using it to go fly out and visit my sister in New Brunswick. So that's kind of what's happening with that. And so I needed to like figure that out. And then Nicole and I have been talking about possibly doing another doll meetup in the US next summer, I think is what we were kind of looking at possibly doing. And again, I would need to be vaccinated to travel. So these are all things that just kind of like pushed me in the direction of just doing it and getting it done. And the only thing is that here in Canada, they're mixing vaccines. So like you could get Pfizer for your first dose and Moderna for your second dose. And the problem that seems to be arising from that is that other countries that aren't mixing are not considering you fully vaccinated. And so then that can pose a problem for traveling. Like, in other words, like you may not be able to travel to certain countries because if you've had mixed doses, they may not consider you fully vaccinated. So that's kind of a problem. Like Alex got Pfizer for his first dose and Moderna for his second. Because when we went yesterday, all they had was Moderna. So I got Moderna for my first dose. I personally don't want to mix just because of my health stuff. I figure it's better to get the same one for both doses because that way if I have some sort of reaction, we know what it's from. Whereas like if I get Pfizer for my second dose when I didn't get it for my first, we won't know was the side effects from Moderna or from Pfizer, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that concept. So, I know they're practically the same, but I just prefer, if I can't get Moderna for my second, I'll wait until I can go somewhere to get, Moderna somewhere else. So, thankfully I can get the proper dosing though, because now they have the accelerated dosing here. I don't even think I'll need my doctor's note that he gave me. They have me booked for November for my second dose, but I can go online and change it to either August 18th or like basically anytime after August 18th, so I can get the proper dosing. So that's good. So anyways, yeah. That's what's going on with that. I just wanted to come up and give that update, and so far so good. And I will keep you guys posted when I get the second dose and see how I do with that. But like I said, so far I'm feeling okay. So thank God for that, because I was so nervous. I was like still really hesitant when I went yesterday, but I'm feeling a bit better about it today. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.